It's been a pretty long time. You're not sure how long, but you have been trapped in your cadaver for many years, only being able to hear the sound of the wind blow above your corpse and above where you've been buried, being able to see nothing but darkness. Um, when all of a sudden, after hours and days and weeks and months and possibly years of being trapped below the dirt, you hear the murmur of a prayer being spoken above your graves, and you hear the sound of the crackly voice of a decrepit old man speaking. If it be true, thee art undead, and seek embers, rouse yourself from death, and heareth mine cries. And when you hear that, you all of a sudden feel energy return to your body, and your eyes open up, and you rapidly claw for the surface, instinctually raising yourself up from the grave. And you see before you an old man sitting in front of a fountain and shaking to himself as he sees all four of you rise from your graves in this endless cemetery where you see nothing but trees all around and overgrown grass and these overgrown vines hanging over this mountain and statue of you do not know who before you, and this old decrepit man with a long stringy beard and hood over his face and dented knight armor looks up and gasps and turns to the closest one of you undead that have risen from your graves and stumbles over to you and falls back down on his knees and says, "Oh, thank the gods. Thank the merciful goddess. You are alive. Tell me, do you remember your name?" And he walks over to Hedges and says this.
My name. Hedges Noon. And then he looks hard at the old man and what am I doing here?
He turns to everyone else who's now, I'm assuming, just, reusing their muscles that have been in atrophy for the longest time and brushing the dirt off their armor or leather or clothing. And he says, "Well, then there is still hope. You are not hollow as it seems. You can speak, and you can remember your very names. It appears the goddess has given me undead that might be capable in fulfilling what is needed to be done." And he turns to the rest of you and says, "Please, those of you who could speak, those of you who know your names, those of you who wish to learn who you are, come closer. Join us."
Okay, and at this moment, Enith would kind of pick herself up, kind of grab her hobbled staff, come closer and just say "Enith of the Great Swamp, at your service," and she'd kind of bow her head down slightly.
He would chuckle heartily to himself. He seems just to be filled with adrenaline and excitement, seeing how much he lucked out with not only non-hostile and non-feral undead approaching him, but those who know their name and those who know where they come from. And he says, "Oh, it is a great joy to see you. It is a great joy to be in company with all of you. But our time grows short. The excitement must end here, as your journey must begin fairly soon, before things get too dark, or, as things are now, too light. Please, all of you, gather round."
What the hell?
And he says, "Well, let's go a step further. You can remember your names. You can remember where you're from. Let's see if you have any allies in this land. Do any of you remember if you were a part of a covenant or an alliance in the land of Lordran?"
I served as a watchdog for many years.
Very good. Very good to know indeed. And for the rest of
Hedges pulls himself to his full measure, rolls his shoulders back, and he says, "And I, a warrior of sunlight."
I could very well tell with the brevity that you pronounced in front of me and the energy you bring about yourself. You may serve as a fine watchdog if we were to find a fine watchdog and a fine warrior of sunlight if we were to find your allies still alive. The rest of you.
Aaron would step.
I spent many a day looking over the forests, over the watchdogs.
Yes, then we have two in good company then. And the last one.
Another one for the company of the Warriors of Sunlight.
All right. Two in good company. Two to keep you keep you in your sanity and prevent you from going feral like all those wild undead outside of this place. But fast. We must approach to the shrine. The firekeeper there will tell you your journey and will give you what you need to get started. Let us try and venture our way out of this accursed cemetery and see if we may find our way there. It is then that he presents himself to you and says, for later reference, if I do indeed forget my own name on this journey of the undead, I am Gael, and I will hopefully remember yours while I remain unhallowed. And he pulls... Well, go ahead, what were we going to say?
Just for clarification, did he say Gael?
He did.
Oh, shit.
He pulls out of a sack on his back a crossbow with just a regular hand crossbow. And to the other side, you can see sheathed in what looked like a very large blanket. Kind of hard to tell what it was until now. He pulls out a gleaming greatsword, which he is able to wield with a single hand, although it looks very, very heavy indeed, almost made of stone. And he wields these both very agilely. And he says, "Come, it is time to find a way to the shrine, if you are able to survive." And he goes ahead and walks forward, hoping the rest of you are to follow him.
The fine weapon, man.
And he chuckles. Okay, so we go ahead and do we follow this strange this strange hooded greatsword hand crossbow wielding knight Gael off into the tree line?
Enith follows, but she stays like probably 60 to 50 feet back, like within sight, and she's kind of like searching along the grass and the things as we go along for like different alchemical ingredients.
Okay. Yeah, let me go ahead and, speaking of that, let me go ahead and get a thing up. What, did you need any components? What components was it that you needed again?
Particularly for spell components, I'm okay at the moment. I have an alchemy supply, and I'm proficient in it, so I'm just looking for stuff that I could use to make potions.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I just wanted to double check as well. Let me go ahead and just write a list. I think for you and Aaron, are there any components you guys need at level 1 for certain spells?
Nothing at level 1.
Okay, cool. So right now, you guys are fine with that sort of thing, though. Okay, so we continue forward. Gael doesn't really seem to notice that you are way off in the distance. He seems very determined, knowing exactly where he's going and very excited to be leading you guys. There are a bunch of twisting paths and dirt roads leading nowhere and trees twisting into darkness. And we can hear the sound of animals pouncing back and forth in the grass and growling. But he very quickly leads you where you're going, almost to the point where it's confusing. You have to really keep up with this guy. And so you guys, like I said, twist through these different pathways in the forest. When finally you come across another clearing, and cemetery tombstones start popping up once again. You can tell this is another place of burial. And he slows down as a raven caws on one of the tombstones and flies off. And he signals for you guys to stay back and to be quiet, sort of giving the universal like hand-out gesture as he slows to a stop. Do all of you do what he says?
Seeing that I'm like 60 feet back, I'd probably approach up to the party and then stop.
Okay, yeah. You'd have to pretty much come up to where you are now because of the bend in the road. You wouldn't be able to be 60 feet back unless you were like entwined in the thorns of the trees.
Okay, and then can I begin ritually casting Detect Magic once we get over here?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
Okay. And is that something you don't need to make a roll for?
No, it takes 10 minutes.
Okay. Okay, so in the 10 minutes that you're... Yeah. In the 10 minutes that you're doing this ritual cast, you guys are able to look around where he has had you stop. And you can see that this is another cemetery ground with tombstones strewn about and birds flocking on the tombstones, as well as on a mausoleum. A very small mausoleum over here, just a flock of birds seem to be standing watch at the top of them. And you see these strange cloaked figures. At first they look to just be statues or scarecrows, but upon further inspection you can see that they are these humanoids that are almost standing 7 feet tall, very thin, standing completely still, except for you can see a couple movements of breathing. But other than that, you can see nothing but their hoods and their robes flailing in the breeze, their tattered reddish-black robes, and you can hear the flapping like flags of it in the wind. And he says, "There is no way to the Firelink Shrine but through here. We must fight our way through, or find our way through without being noticed. What is it you prefer?"
Hedges looks down at his rattling chainmail, lifts an eyebrow, and pulls the halberd off of his back.
Okay. He says, "Well, I guess fight our way through then it is," and he chuckles to himself. And goes ahead and readies his crossbow. And he says, "All right, whenever you're ready, strike first, whoever feels the need."
And Hedges looks around and sees the ranger with his bow on his back and says, "You any good with that?"
Were you directing the ranger to begin
I've put it
first?
to some use before. I pull it off and I knock an arrow and I say, "What do you think?"
Okay.
Alright, so Hedges is going to step up. And
Before they do this,
wait.
I'm gonna cast Mage Armor on myself.
Okay, cool. There's gonna be... Who is it that said that?
Enith.
Okay, cool. I have different symbols for different effects, so I'll just sort of quickly go through the simple ones with you. I'm going to put them on Gael. So, the sleeping symbol means either unaware or asleep. This is going to be stealth. This is if you're slowed, grappled, close to death. And then there'll be just a few other ones that'll be explained, but you'll see status and condition effects on people, depending. But right now you don't know what these guys are doing, if they can see you or if they can't see you. So who is going to go first? Gael goes ahead and crouches down in the tree line, anxiously awaiting for someone to strike blood first.
Hedges is going to wait for the
quick
ranger
question
to shoot,
before-
and then I'm going to follow. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Okay. So that's major armor.
I have a quick question on when you, besides your normal, what you factor in on your character sheet. So, for example, like my favorite enemies, undead. Would I just add would I have to manually add that when I do my roll, right?
Undead in this campaign is just going to be feral undead, which is hollows. So if a creature, since all humans are undead is going to be humans that have become mad and lost their mind. Just to clarify
Okay,
that, but
fair
what were
enough.
you asking?
Since it's a like special feature thing, I have to manually add that onto my roll by just doing the plus amount of my favorite
I'm
enemy,
pretty
right?
sure it's a manual thing you got to do, unless
Okay.
anybody thinks otherwise.
Right.
There is a way to add it to his attack, and I can help him with that, but probably now is not the best time. We can just
Okay.
add it manually for right now.
Yeah.
So we just need to know if it applies essentially for right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. So
Aaron-
I just
All right.
begin walking forward, or was somebody else going to begin the bloodshed?
I just take a step forward, hoping that the ranger's gonna fire a shot, and whoever he shoots, I'm going to charge at this closest one.
Are you guys going to stealth when you're making positions here? Or are you just going to
Yeah.
position?
Yeah. I'm gonna move
So,
in.
yeah.
Definitely move into stealth.
I'm kind of
Stealth
discounting
and
like
do a roll for that.
casting mage armor is kind of my actions right now.
Okay, yeah, for sure. So since Anyth's gonna do mage armor, Hedges and Blight Oak, when you guys would choose whatever your position you want to be is. Do you want to roll stealth to see if you're not seen, or do you not care?
It can't hurt to try. That's for sure. So I'll
Okay.
give that a try if I could.
Okay, go for it.
Nope, there it isn't.
Okay, your armor clunks as you move forward, and let's see here. You've definitely got the attention of these hooded boys as they all turn around to greet you, and they see the entire party here, and let's see what exactly they're wielding. You see them pull short swords. This one pulls a short sword out of his robes, and these two pull short bows out of their robes. So yeah, but you can go ahead and still do the sneak attack since this happened right as they noticed you. They weren't aware of your presence before then.
Alright, great. Can I take only an action, or can I use an action and a bonus action for my attack?
I'm pretty well. What? I think you're able to use both at this.
So
this point.
how surprised works in the rules is basically we still roll initiative and everything, but they just have to skip their very first turn. They have a surprised condition, and basically they lose their first turn of actions.
Okay. So yeah, you can go ahead and do a bonus as well as action.
Okay, great. So let's go ahead and do that first attack.
Okay. So let's see here. So the total, I've always been confused by these double numbers. Is the 24 with advantage, or is that the
Yes.
total?
That's if
The
I have
24 is
advantage.
24 is with advantage, yeah.
Okay. All right. So you go ahead, yeah, and you get a good slash in with the first attack, and then with the butt of your halberd, you are able to crunch at his bones a little bit with that attack as well. So you got both of them in.
Alright, great. Oh, that's not for damage. Let's see here. Do I just click it again for damage? I totally forget, gentlemen.
Okay, so go into the chat log and click halberd on your
there it is.
attack roll.
Let me go ahead and double check that. So you did a shit ton of damage. Okay. So yeah, you're able to, in the first slash this Grave Warden in half, and then you just beat him senseless as his both halves lie on the ground in front of you. So that is a good kill. And then we will go ahead and roll for initiative after that.
Okay.
Okay, let me go and get my bonus in here.
I was gonna say, do you want to pop up the initiative order thing?
That is the one thing that I still did not learn how to do, but I've got my sheet
All good.
here.
What's the proper way to designate your initiative rather than
Click the
just
initiative on your
1d20?
character sheet.
So, let's see. Aaron got a 13. And...
Enith's creaky old bones got a 1.
Yeah, did a good damn job, that's for sure.
Did mine show up, or is it only showing on my
Whoops, didn't mean
screen?
to do too.
You're supposed to because you have advantage on it.
Drew, yes, you got 13.
Yeah, there's that as well.
Okay. And then Blight Oak got... Was it a 21 or a 13?
21.
Okay. So, who has the higher dexterity between Blight Oak and Anyth?
So the technical rule is we get
Or
to
is it-
decide.
Oh, you decide?
And players get to decide. So if we
Okay,
roll
I
ties,
like
we
that
get to
better.
decide who goes first. And
That was a
honestly,
little homebrew
it doesn't
thing
matter to
yesterday.
me at all if you want to go first.
If neither of you care, you guys can do the dexterity thing secondary if you want.
I guess if I could go first,
Yeah,
plus another
alright,
issue,
so
is I think we
probably
both have
just,
+1 anyways.
Straight across the way.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Okay,
I'm gonna
cool.
probably just, my bow's already knocked, and take a shot at him.
So who's going first then?
Blight Oak.
Okay, cool. Go ahead then.
And then a way to designate to know who I'm shooting at. Is there a way you want me to do that?
Just
You can
ping.
go ahead and hold the left mouse button, and it'll have a little aura pop up.
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, this one. Okay, cool. Okay, go ahead and make your shot then. Okay, yep. You go ahead and you pelt him with a good arrow. And then how much damage are we dealing? Oh, 2 attacks. Okay. Yeah, so that's 2 of them.
Whoops.
I think he did that second attack. On
Unless it's just 1. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
To roll for the damage, do I have to do that manual? Because I
So
can
you click longbow in the chat log. So this.
Perfect.
There you go.
Okay. All right. So you go ahead and you. Pierces. This goes right through for 6 piercing. And whenever an enemy is below 10 HP, that's when I go ahead and give that little bleeding symbol. So he's pretty heavily damaged from that, and he clutches at the wound. So let's see here. All right. And then was there anything else you were able to do?
No, that's it.
Okay, so next up will be 2 13s as well. So which one do you guys want to go first?
You mean me, right? Because I got the second 21.
Oh yeah, you're right. I meant after that. I was thinking ahead.
Yeah, no
So
worries.
yeah, before we do that, was it Hedges or?
It was Eneth.
Yeah, Eden is the
Um,
other 21.
Yeah, that's second. I mean after. It goes Blight Oak, Enith, and then there were Aaron.
Oh,
and
2 13s,
got
yeah.
them.
Mm.
So just before that turn happens, which one of you guys want to go first?
Well, I don't want to take all the fun, so we'll let Aaron go before me.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, Swamp Woman.
Okay, Eneth's gonna kind of take a 5-step forward, and she's just gonna kind of. And she's gonna shoot a firebolt at the one that already took the arrow.
Okay. All right, and that's a hit.
4 fire damage.
All right.
And then she's gonna step back behind Gael.
That one is still alive, but is on flames, and you can hear it screeching beneath its robes, but is somehow still alive. And next up is going to be... Yeah, so next up is going to be Hedges, and then Gael went ahead and he did roll, but he's going to take his turn after you guys do by choice.
I'm gonna let Aaron go before me.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead, Aaron. Then.
Steps forward a bit, and then holding up his holy symbol, just says a few words, and will cast Sacred Flame on the one that took the arrow.
Okay.
As well.
The one that is already damaged. Okay, so dexterity save, and you said on the one that's damaged is the one that you're gonna fire at.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so let me go ahead and make a dexterity save here. Nice. Okay, that is a definite fail. Alright, and the additional rage dealt to him is going to go ahead and put him in the grave as he falls down to the ground. Still robed, still caught on fire and singed a bit, and we've got one left.
And then otherwise Aaron will just sort of bring up his shield and stand where he is.
Okay. And the next up will be Hedges.
Alright, Hedges bellows forward around the last one and says, "To hell with you, Wraith!" And does his halberd attack.
Okay, you got it.
And he'll go ahead and throw in the butt for good measure.
Okay.
Yeah, he will! Yeah, he will!
Wow.
Oh, I guess I'm supposed to do whatever that is. I didn't roll for crit on the second, but...
Okay. Yeah, you do the crit double damage. As in not multiplied by 2, but roll twice. So the first was 8, the second was 6. So with the first butt of the attack, you can hear you crack a skull as it comes down to the ground. And then would you continue to hit it with your second butt attack after it fell to the floor dead?
Oh, those were the first ones, so the slashing and then the 2, so it was the 10
Okay.
and then the 2 bludgeoning after that.
Oh, okay, alright. Okay, so yeah, you went ahead and you cracked his skull open and he crumpled to the floor dead. And as that happens, all of the commotion you guys stir about, you begin to hear growling in the distance from the tree line, and both ends of the tree line, and they are fast approaching, and it begins to sound like the sounds of dogs snarling. So you have some time before this happens. You can hear one's coming from this end, and the other 2 are coming from these sides. If you guys want to take a turn to use, well, I would say like half your full movement to get in whatever position you think you might want to get in before whatever comes out of these thorny bushes.
I didn't
ping
see your
where it's coming from
location
again?
ping.
You had what?
I didn't get your location ping.
Oh, right here, and right here would be where you can hear the concentration of the snarling and barking coming from.
Hedges is actually going to step. Well, I can only use about half, so it's about as far as I can get right there.
I'm gonna step to where I went to as well.
Diagonal movement just be 5 feet.
Is it at 10?
It depends what rules you're using, but most of the time it's 5, and then everyone after that it's like, so it goes 5, and then the next one's 10, and then the next one's 5, and then the next one's 10.
That makes sense to me.
With half my movement, then I think I can get to this position.
You'd have one more square because you moved up 1, diagonal 1. You could move more, but not diagonal another.
I'm also gonna
Out here.
pull up my quarterstaff and stow away my longbow.
We have around to prepare an action.
He lost connection.
Okay, I'm here.
Okay.
Sorry, I lost connection super briefly. Okay, so I see where everybody moved. I was asking, okay, are you guys gonna move? And nobody said anything. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. So yeah, so everyone I guess meets in the center. Gael is gonna go ahead and just prepare his hand crossbow, and it is then where these the cause of this barking goes ahead and hops out of the trees, and you can see these gray, decayed hounds that are medium-sized, so as large as you guys are, bound out of the tree line, and they are pelted with arrows and daggers and just covered with the wounds of battle. and they're going to go ahead and attack you. So the hound, the starved hound to the left, is going to round these tombstones and is going to pounce in front of Hedges and attempt to hit him.
Before he does that, I would like to use my polearm master feature to use my reaction to attack him since he's entered my area.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, great.
Okay, that's a hit. Okay. You slash him right out of the sky as he jumps for you. And he lets out a timid cry as you slash him across the torso.
I'm sorry!
Falling down to the ground. Okay, and then the next one rounds around this decrepit statue of this angel here and goes to pounce on Aaron. And if you have no reactions, he's going to go ahead and take his hit. And we'll
I don't
go
think
ahead.
I can do anything as a reaction.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and we'll see if he hits you then. That is a 15 to hit.
My AC with my shield is 17.
Oh shit! Alright, so he bounces right off your shield, snarling. You can feel the teeth scratching at the shield, but he comes back down to the ground. And the last one goes ahead and goes right for Inyith, and also pounces to hit. So we'll see if that happens. And what's your AC right now at Mage Armor?
15.
Damn. Wow, you guys gonna make short work of these guys. Okay, so yeah, another scratching at you that misses, and it just hits the energy around your magic armor. Pounces off. So now it would go back to turn order, which would be Blight Oak first.
Alright, with my quarter staff drawn, I'm gonna move around. Actually, to have enough movement at 5, 10, 15, 20, 30. Around and try and give it an attack.
Okay.
I know he's not quite there yet, but are we using flanking rules for advantage?
Let me see here. I feel like the answer...
Advantage is really strong for flanking.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel
But
like
it's a
I'm...
small group, that's why I ask.
From the last time I talked about it, I feel like I wasn't super into it.
I feel like in the other campaign we run it as a +1,
Okay.
but I don't really remember.
Let me go ahead and sort of re-go over this short little excerpt of it. Gain advantage attack roll. Yeah, I think for this one we're not going to be using flanking.
Okay. Are we going to use any type of bonus for that, or just static
Yeah,
attack? Okay.
static. Unless you have, a feat or a skill that, like a rogue would have.
Right.
That gives you a bonus like that.
Alrighty. Go ahead and attack.
Okay. Alright, that's a hit. Alright. You bludgeon this dog to death, cracking its ribs. These are small, weak boys. So yeah, that's the end of that dog, and he also whimpers before crumpling to the ground. And then there would be one left, and next up is going to be... Inyith.
Yep, so what do you want to rule, like me shooting through teammates with my spells? Like,
I would say
cover-wise?
just disadvantage.
Disadvantage, no
Oh.
like half cover or anything?
Yeah, if it's a spell that requires
Like an attack roll?
an attack roll, then I think, yeah, it would actually be better for it to be half cover than
Yeah,
disadvantage.
because spells that require attack roll usually abide by the exact same like
Right.
cover rules as a ranged attack.
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and give him half cover then.
Okay, and then I just want to I have a feat where I ignore half and 3/4 cover.
Okay.
So with all my spell attacks that do, I'll just link it for you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so I'm just gonna shoot a firebolt right at the dog that's left.
Okay, and that's 24 to hit.
5 damage.
Okay. He is still alive, but is burning and whimpering. But you were very, very close to getting him down, so let's see here.
I'm just gonna scoot away.
Okay, cool. So next up is going to be Aaron then.
Guess Aaron will just munder the same things and bring forth another sacred flame. Worked the first time. Oh, dex save.
What'd you say?
I'll just cast Sacred Flame again.
Okay.
Dex save for the dog.
Okay, and that would be the 13. Okay. Let me go ahead and do that then. Okay. Nice. It goes ahead and he makes it.
Guess he just curses and sort of holds his ground then.
Okay. Okay, so next up's gonna be Hedges then.
Why did it have to be dogs?
Okay. Yeah, there you go. Alright, and that slashing from that halberd's enough to slice him in half and bring him down with the rest of them. Okay. Alright, so Gael chuckles and congratulates you and said that you made quick work of those fiends. Not even a scratch. I have no worries for you further on. Come, let's just go.
Enith would step up and be like, "Does anyone have a knife I can borrow?
Knife?
Or a dagger? Just something sharp."
Hedges actually glances down.
Dagger out of his boot and hands it over and says, "Are you gonna skin these poor doggos?"
She just kind of laughs. "Not gonna skin them," and she immediately goes over and starts cutting their paws off.
Oh, nice. Brutal. And you guys can go ahead if you want, as Gael trudges away, you can go ahead and try and see if there's anything you can get off of these corpses.
Hedges frowns at Ian just for a moment, and then turns his eyes to some of the fallen wraith creatures to see what they have.
Okay. So currency in this game is going to be souls, of course. So let's go ahead and see. We'll go ahead and make what I like to do for this, as far as finding currency, is go ahead and make a investigation roll on the whatever creature you're pickpocketing. Okay. So, all right, you find 18 souls off of him, so you can add that to your currency.
Okay, cool.
Okay, and then in addition to that, you find a dagger and a short sword.
Good.
And then was anyone else wanting to?
I was kind of searching the
bodies?
dogs, but like mostly just cutting their paws off.
Okay, yeah. Well, let's go ahead and see if they have anything in their. Well, you're not going to root through their body, just their paws, right?
Yeah, I'm just staking
Okay.
the paws. And once I have it off, I'm going to hand the dagger back to Blight Oak.
Okay, cool.
I'm not going
And
to
it's-
clean it off at all, though. I'm just going to hand it all back nasty.
It's honestly not really that dirty. There is no blood pumping through these dogs' veins. So other than tearing through, bone and ligaments, Nothing really much other than that.
Aaron would probably investigate one of the other bodies that were farther off, I suppose. Like
Okay.
sort of offering a small prayer before searching through.
Sounds good.
Just roll an investigation.
Yeah, and in your prayer, you feel nothing but just an uncomfortable, cold darkness praying over these bodies. But yeah, go ahead and roll investigation. Okay.
Yep.
3 souls.
That's my luck.
And the
So
last body.
how
What's
many
up?
of these dog paws do I get?
Let's see how many are intact. Go ahead and roll survival, I think it would be for cutting off paws. Things of that nature.
22.
Okay, I would say they're all intact.
Oh baby.
So if you want 12 dog paws, go for it. And Gael would anxiously await at the end of the tree line, looking to his left and his right. But while he's doing that, if anyone wants to, there's also this mausoleum here, so it's got a stone door in front of it. We can investigate that, and then also if you want to investigate the last body, you can do that as well.
Hedges
Yeah, I'll
go in
probably
the
move up
mausoleum.
and check that out. I was gonna ask you as well. If I move like that, is that only 5 feet?
Yeah,
move
that's
diagonal.
5 feet.
Okay, and then I'll go up here and investigate this last one.
Okay.
Enith is going to kind of back up Hedges at the mausoleum, but kind of keep her distance.
Okay. You find 4 souls.
Okay.
As well as, Aaron, you also find just a single short sword. The short bow seems to be in bad condition, so it's just kind of junk. And then, Blight Oak, you find the opposite, a short, or they're hand crossbows, excuse me. A hand crossbow that is in good condition and a short sword that's broken. So that would also just be junk.
All right, cool. I'll take the hand crossbow.
Cool.
Put it in my pack.
And then Hedges was investigating the entrance to this mausoleum.
Just so.
Okay, so it seems to just be a stone slab that is separating the door from the walls. There's no, door handle of any kind here. So how are you going to approach this weird door?
With as much strength and lack of subtlety as possible.
Okay, go ahead and display that. So is that going to be a blunt halberd attack? Is that going to be you kicking in with your feet? How are you doing
I'm
that?
just going to try and push it.
Okay, so go ahead and roll strength then. Damn. It seemed this stone slab had a locking mechanism behind it, and you feel yourself just sort of push through it and crack it off its hinges as metal pieces go flying to the floor and the stone slab cracks to the marble ground, and all of you can hear this happen.
Just for clarification, did I get my detect before we were
Oh,
attacked
yeah,
at all?
you detect magic. You could detect a concentration of magic coming from the mausoleum, but other than that, you felt just the same sort of cold darkness coming from these grave wardens. But other than that, nothing else.
Hedges grunts as he sees the lock and goes, out of practice, I guess. Looking down at his set of thief tools on his belt.
So with detect magic, I can sense a aura
The
around
school.
whatever. Yeah, I can learn its and I sense a visible aura around it, so I can basically see exactly what is magic.
Okay. So I would say, other than that, it would just be the mausoleum specifically, and it would be divination magic that you actually be able to detect in the mausoleum.
And seeing Hedges kind of like go and like mess with this, I'd kind of like murmur under my breath, and I'd be like, "Be careful, you big oaf."
Can Hedges hear that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
Hedges
she
can
did.
do that.
Yeah, she said it loud enough.
He just looks back at her with his gap-toothed grin and scratches his beard and says, "Yeah," and goes back to it.
Inaudible and subtitles. Okay, so you break down this door, and to your amazement, there's this sort of flood of memories that come back to you. You see a dust and dirt cake statue of what looks like one of the first well-known prolific warriors of sunlight. You can tell by the sunlight spear that this statue is wielding. The head seems to have been broken off and just is rubble now on the ground. And you can see by the armor he's wearing chainmail and a belt around sort of that chainmail skirt. And the silver braces that are being displayed on him, as well as the Warriors of Sunlight symbol on his chest. You can tell that this is a statue of the late and great Solaire that is left over in this cemetery here. And if you personally yourself don't have a lot of knowledge on it, you can go ahead and roll history on it to get a little bit more insight about who this figure is and how he relates to your memory.
Yeah, let's keep it in character and roll that.
Okay, 16 in history. Okay, so from the memories flooding back to you about this original member of Sunlight that is respected greatly among all of you who follow the way of the Warriors of Sunlight, who are out there for bravery and adventure and helping, other companions who are adventurers in need. You know that this is the first Warrior of Sunlight who successfully ventured to Anor Londo, the kingdom of the gods, many centuries ago, and he is well known for confronting one of the Lords of Cinder, if not the first, which would be Lord Gwyn. You don't know anything other than that, but you do know that his ending was very tragic, and he is remembered in a sort of bittersweet light, as we remember him for his bravery, but unfortunately he failed in his quest, and we must now follow in his footsteps out of respect for him. So that's pretty much the history that you get from that, and nothing more than that.
Hedges gives it a respectful salute, and he mumbles under his breath, "Sorry about this." And he goes rooting around the statue to see if there's any burial objects, anything that was given to him that might be lootable and helpful in this time.
Okay, yeah. So at the feet of this statue of Solaire are some long dead roses and offerings of, flowers that would be given in times of grief and tragedy that have obviously all shriveled now. There are a few chests laden about, as well as some burial urns that are covered in cobwebs. So, if everyone else was alerted to this, we can, if you want to, you can search it yourself, or you can have dudes, the rest of your party search with you, but I'm going to say there's 2 chests and 4 burial urns.
Hedges sticks his head out and says, "Quite the mausoleum in here. There might be something useful for whatever the hell it is we're doing." And he puts his head back in and whips out his thief tools and wants to see, of course, if there's any nasty greetings for him in the chest.
Yeah. And who is the other one that was the Warriors of Sunlight?
That would be Aaron, I guess, as he probably sort of steps to see what's going on as well.
Would Hedges notify Aaron that there was a Warrior of Sunlight sort of monument here?
Well, I don't think Hedges really knows anything about Aaron, about what he is specifically. But if Aaron, if he comes up, and sees that, then sees what Hedges is doing, then he'll surely tell him about.
Oh, I thought, did Aaron not give his...
Oh, I think, no, you're right, he did. Hedges just completely forgot.
It's okay, don't worry about it.
Yeah, he definitely tells him about the statue.
Okay. And then Aaron, you once again would also have this sort of connection between you and your past when you see this, but you're not exactly sure what it is. So let's go ahead and roll history to see if you know what Hedges learned, or if this is kind of a mystery to you. You don't know why this is important to you in any way. Yeah. So it'd just be you get this really odd feeling, sort of like deja vu, or like you saw this thing in a dream or something. But other than that, you have no idea why this is so significant to your past. But other than that, you can go ahead and go in and do whatever you want with this.
Heading
Enid?
into the mausoleum. Sorry. Heading into
No, you
the
go ahead.
mausoleum.
Okay.
So there were other burial urns to look at as well.
Yeah, there were 4 burial urns and there were 2 chests.
I guess Aaron would probably look over the burial urns then.
Okay. So Hedges is gonna use thieves' tools on one of the chests then?
Yeah.
Okay, so you click it on open, and immediately trapped souls come flying out and are attracted to your life essence.
I suck in really hard.
You suck in 12 souls of other beings. It's like sunny delight. And in addition to that, you're able to find some other goodies in here. So let's see. You do find some cobweb and dirt-covered potion. And then we'll wait for that to load to see what it is. Hopefully I'm not losing connection again. Can you guys still hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So then here we go. Okay, so you're able to find a potion of healing as well as a potion of climbing in the chest, as well as one more thing. Aaron, do you want to go and roll investigation on the burial urns?
Alright. Let's see how terribly this goes. Yeah.
Okay. So also, in addition to that, Hedges, you find a brooch crafted in the shape of an ornately designed key. And then, Aaron, you find 2 souls upon smashing all 4 burial urns. So 2 of them were completely empty.
All
I
right.
feel that was just he was looking and then accidentally knocked them all over.
Yeah.
Has everyone peeked into the mausoleum now that they hear us making a ruckus in there?
I had peeked in when you had opened it, but Enid's gonna approach Blight Oak and kind of just go, "Minutes ago they were dead in the ground themselves, now look at them searching through tombs."
And he says, "Do you want to be back in the ground?" And he
She just kind of laughs.
so Hedges picks up 2 of the potions and he spins them around, so he knows what they are. He was able to identify them.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, you're good.
He looks at the potion of climbing and he says, "Although I could probably use all the help I could get, I don't see myself using this too well." And looks over and hands it to the ranger, and he says, "Maybe you could get more use out of it." But he looks at the dress of everyone else and says, "But methinks that as far as staying upright, I'll probably need the most help." Tucks the potion of healing into his belt, and he says, "And I have no idea what to make of this," and flicks the brooch over to Edith to inspect.
So you go ahead and you just catch it. It is made out of marble, and so it's like a marble tile, but that has been crafted down to the shape of a simple key. And then other than that, it's just held together with string.
It's not magic or anything.
No.
I would kind of walk back over to him and hand it to him, and I'd just say, "Just a knick-knack."
He says,
Yeah.
You can never have too many knickknacks." And he puts it in his pack next to his handkerchief.
Yeah. Something I've noticed, there's always something creative you can do with knickknacks if you find a reason to use them in some way.
Absolutely.
So let's see. So in addition to that, there was one more chest. If you guys were wanting to try to root through that.
We are.
Can we both use these tools on the same chest or something? Or is that not worth it?
If one of you guys fails, what I like to do is only do one check per person on an item. So if someone fails, picking a lock, they can't just keep picking that until they get it. So if Hedges fails the Thieves' Tools check for it, then you can go ahead and try.
Okay.
Oh, was that your second attempt, the 14?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, you go ahead and knock that shit open. And a single fading soul just slowly floats up to you,
Alright.
very lethargically.
Take that
and-
one up the nose, cup the other nostril, give that a little sniff.
And
Take that.
it sighs sorrowfully as it enters your nasal cavity. And then in addition to that odd encounter, you were able to find some magic items that were trapped inside of this chest as well. You were able to find a potion of greater healing. You were able to find... Let's see... Let's not do something that big. But yeah, so potion of greater healing was one of them. And then you're going to find two more things in there. You're going to find a spell scroll in there. If you want to go, you'll find two spell scrolls in addition to the potion of greater healing. If you want to go ahead and roll Arcana to figure out what those are, you can.
I would like to.
For whoever... Yeah, you can go ahead and do it. I'll forget the whole rule of players can't do. You can roll Arcana.
Well, I would.
Okay.
I mean, that makes sense. But since he's gonna go Rune Knight, he's a high intelligence
Right,
guy.
yeah, exactly, that as well. So yeah, with the 14 for the first one, you're able to tell that is a spell scroll of Identify.
All right. I say just as much, and I leave the scroll alone.
Okay. Was there anyone to be interested in that, or are you guys not wanting to use that at all?
I'd say while all of this is going on, Aaron is actually probably seeing if he can cast Mending to fix the burial urns.
Okay, cool. Yeah, just in case them dark spirits trying to come at you. And then a 12 is good, and you're able to find that this is a spell scroll of animal handling.
That I hand directly to the ranger, and I go, "This looks like your speed, friend." And he says, "And this other, as far as identifying magical properties, well, either of you magicers, I'm sure, could find it useful. Anyone particularly want to carry this around?"
I know the spell, so I should be fine without it.
All right.
I guess I could hold on to it.
Well, don't sound so enthusiastic. And he hands it over to the cleric.
We are taking this from a burial site. Respect for the dead and to protect the living.
The urns shake and shimmer, and they slowly find their way back to their solid form, no longer cracked in pieces on the ground.
And he says, "That's a fair point, Aaron. In fact, Gael!" Yells and turns
Yes,
around.
what is it?
Says,
I'm checking the perimeter.
"Fuck the perimeter. What are we even doing? Why are souls floating into my body? What is this?"
He sighs and goes ahead and wanders back over to you. And he says, "Everything will be more clear once you speak to the Firekeeper. I have a great many things to tend to, and I am happy that you are in my midst. We must hurry. But I will give you a little bit of something, since I know it will be hard for you to continue on without really knowing where you are or why. Much like those adventurers who found themselves at the gates of Drang Lake. But other than that, you are part of a circle of life and death. And luckily, the circle of life has shone upon you unlike all of those feral undead that we have just been fighting, trying to kill us. You have been chosen to try to end an age that has been persisting for far too long, that has been rotting away the essence of life and culture and everything that makes the natural world so, rotting it into the ground. The Firekeeper herself will tell you exactly why this came to be and who it is you are searching for. But you cannot squander this opportunity to be giving a second chance at a life where you have not gone mad. You must follow me, and you must find a way to stop this world from rotting. Please, let us continue.
He just gives a dubious glance around, but seeing no other option, strides out of the mausoleum after giving one more sign of respect to the statue, and strikes up after Gael.
Shall we go then? And he spins around with his large stone greatsword in one hand and hand crossbow in the other, and begins trudging forward through the thorny landscape.
Hedges grumbles, those look nice. Too bad you don't even use them.
Damn! Okay. So everyone is heading towards Gael, and we once again go through some more twisting vines and dark brush, and, we hear the sound of animals howling in the distance. And we find ourselves at the top of a hill. And when we do, Gael says, "Ah, yes, exactly where it was the last time I found her." And he says, "This is the house of one of the gravekeepers. I know she has something that she might be able to offer you to help you on your journey. I think it'd be nice for us to make a stop here to see if she still resides here and holds her sanity." And he goes ahead and walks forward, knowing exactly where he's going and what he's doing. If you guys were to follow her, you can. If you guys think that you were to keep your space and stay back while he's doing this, or go around and investigate the tombstones, whatever it is you think you do while he walks up to the door of this decrepit shack.
Hedges will kind of be halfway there, still close enough to the party, but not fully committing to following up to the door.
Okay. So Gael goes ahead and he knocks on the thick wooden doors of this shack and says, "Gravekeeper, come out. We have another lot of undead who are on their way to the shrine." And he keeps knocking, and there's no response. And he tries pulling on the handles of this shack, and it's firmly locked. It feels to him as if maybe it might be barred on the other side, and he grumbles as such. And as he grumbles, those of you who are standing on these graves can feel a burrowing, and those of you who are not standing on graves can see dirt begin to be thrown to the side as something beneath them is crawling outward. Let's see exactly what is crawling outward. We see undead, much like yourselves, but obviously feral, in rags, and biting and clawing at the surface as they come out, begin to rise up. And the one below Aaron is going to get a sneak attack on him as Aaron sees this lifeless, gray, shriveled arm grasp at his foot and attempt to claw him. So we're going to go ahead and do that quick sneak claw attack with advantage. Okay. Oh, they got both of them. Jesus Christ! A 9 and a 12. So I'm assuming none of those hit.
Even if it doesn't count the shield.
Yeah. So you're able to leap backwards, so you can go ahead and go 5 feet back so you guys aren't in the same space. As you can see the grasping and clawing from below. And Gael turns back to see all of these feral undead gnashing their teeth and clawing at the air as they emerge from the ground. So let's go ahead and roll initiative. As Gael yells to the Gravekeeper inside, "Gravekeeper, open these doors this instant!" So we'll go ahead and roll for initiative here.
Hey,
Okay, 21. And then, did you accidentally roll initiative twice?
He has alert.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
No, just from a ranger, I always have advantage on initiative, so I always roll twice.
Okay, well.
Take the higher of the two.
Okay, so Blight Oak's gonna get a 19. And then, let's see. And Zach got a 14. And then what did Aaron get again? I missed it.
21.
Okay, 21. Okay, cool. So now Gael is going to go ahead and roll. Let's see what his modifier is. He's going to get a 15.
I'm assuming Hedges doesn't get to use a reaction for this thing coming up and attacking, right?
Yeah, it's a sneak.
Right, that's what I figured. Okay, just check.
Okay, so, and then let's go ahead and see what the initiative is for these guys. Okay, so first up is going to be Aaron then.
Possibly foolish, but I will back up 5 feet first, so...
Yeah, that's going to be attack of opportunity.
Having his shield up, so if that matters then.
Okay, let me go ahead and do something real quick. Alright, here we go. So, he's going to once again try to claw at you. Let's put that modifier on there. Okay. It'll be a 16. And I think you said yours... What'd you say?
Yep.
What's that?
Sorry. So yeah, AC 17 with the shield.
Okay. Alright, so that's going to be another miss then. Okay, so go ahead. What were you going to do?
I am then going to double check a spell quick, and then I believe... I don't know if it's worth it, but I guess I'll cast Bane on the 3 on the right side.
Okay.
I'll get this info. Let's see.
And then what was the save for that? If there is
DC
one.
13.
Okay, cool. Okay. Go ahead and check what their modifier is again. Damn. Alright.
Here we are. And there's the spell info.
Oh, it's a charisma saving throw. Okay. There you go.
You can cast it on 3 creatures then.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Alright, so they have all been affected by Bane. Alright, and then is that going to be it for you, or is there anything else?
yeah, that'll be Aaron's turn as he just says, stand ready.
Alright, next up's going to be Ainith, then.
I think Blight Oak got 19, right?
Yeah.
Did I do that in reverse, in wrong order? Oops. Okay, cool. Here, let me go.
I might just pull my chorus
Oh, yeah,
off
I
and
didn't-
say-
Yeah, I kept the old turn order, my bad. Yeah, so next up's going to be Blight Oak.
All good. I'll pull my core staff and say, "You're going right back at the ground, dead one."
Aw, shit.
Move up to this one.
Okay. Just go ahead and rewrite the turn order down here. Okay. Okay, and then you rolled a 10. Okay, so yeah, that is going to go ahead and miss wide. They're dexterous enough just to be able to dodge out of that.
Okay.
And then was there anything else, or is that it?
No, that's it.
Okay. So now next up is going to be Inyith.
I'm going to shoot a firebolt at the one that's right next to me.
Okay. That's a hit. Burst into flames.
6 damage.
Okay.
That'll
He
be my turn.
screams, tries to put himself out, but he is still alive. And then next up is going to be Gael, the main boy, the man himself. But only the main boy to me because I'm controlling him. Okay, so he goes ahead and he takes out his hand crossbow, and he goes to hit the one. Actually, fuck it. I think he's going to take out his big ass stone greatsword, and he's going to come over here and he's going to try to slash this hollow in half. So let's go ahead and remind myself what his bonuses to hit are. Okay. Alright, and he swings wide and he hits into the ground right next to it. But it's okay though, because he has a second greatsword attack. So he goes ahead and he just lifts it back up and swings again, making a hit. And let's see how much damage he does. Oops, wrong thing. That'd be pathetic. He deals 12 damage to this hollow. As it gets splattered onto the ground, broken bones fly in all places, and Gael chuckles to himself. And next up are going to be the hollows, who converge on the players, and they have a... Bane gives them a minus... Well, not a -4, but they roll a d4, and that's... Okay, and they subtract the d4 from whatever attack roll they make. Okay. Alright, so the bottom one is going to come up to Inyith and going to try to claw at Inyith. And then we're going to do the -4. Well, the initial attack first. I think that is a plus... Yep, +3. Okay, so that would be a 14. And
That misses
then,
without the d4.
yeah, so it'd just be a 10. Okay. Alright, and then the next hollow is going to try to come up and claw Aaron.
As he steps up, entering in my reach, I'd like to use my reaction to attack him.
Go for it.
Alright.
Yep, that's a good solid hit. Alright, that's 8. So this one is also in the red, not doing very well. So let's see here. Let me go ahead and mark the hit points of these guys have already been hit. So number 4 has been hit for 8 damage. So he's at that much HP, won't say how much. And then the one, how much did you hit the one right next to you for? Inyith? Who is
5.
it that hit this one?
5.
It was
5.
6, wasn't it?
Oh, let's see. It might have been 6. I think it was...
It's in the chat log.
It was 6. It was 6.
At level
Okay.
1, every point counts, otherwise I wouldn't say
It sure does.
It was 6.
Okay, awesome. Alright, so yeah, you go ahead and blast that hollow to smithereens. Alright, and then the last one is going to go ahead and move behind hedges and try to claw you as well. And even without the d4, that is going to be a definite miss, just clawing at the back of your armor and doing nothing to it. And I think that was 4 that went, and then the one next to Blight Oak is going to try to slash at Blight Oak. And then also I think that does not hit, right? Let me go ahead and double check your character sheet.
I got 15 armor class.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so they all just claw at the air and miss you guys, giving you guys plenty of opportunity to fight back. So go ahead and we're going to go back up to, well, not back up to, it'll be Hedges' turn now.
Alright, Hedges is gonna wheel and attack the one that struck at his back.
Mm-hmm.
And any luck?
Oh, just 1 second. Nope, you miss.
All right, then he'll attack with the butt of his halberd.
All right, that's gonna be a good crack to the head.
All right.
Okay, and then 6 bludgeoning. All right, so that's a good crack. You see, very old blood begin to slowly drip from its skull, but it is still alive. And then next up is going to be Aaron.
Okay, not to sign myself up for more damage, but did you roll the attack against me for the...
Did I not? I think I did not, actually. I appreciate the honesty.
Sign him up. Sign him up.
Yeah, now I'm gonna crit on you.
Watch this be the natural 20.
Yeah, exactly. Say. Oh my
you hate
god.
to see it. You hate
Just a
it
d4,
is.
please.
So it is a 17 though. Okay, jeez. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ooh.
Holy shit. So you can see it was about to connect, but the magic that you put on this feral beast gave him just enough lack of energy to be able to slightly skim past your face with those claws. So, go ahead, Aaron, then.
Just charge up another Sacred Flame on the one right in front of me, I guess, then.
Okay.
It's another Dex 13.
Okay.
Hey.
Let's see if we can do it here. Nope, that is a definite miss.
Pray for 1 radiant damage.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
With my luck. And
Oh, you did? Oh, I didn't see the damage. Yeah, that's actually all you need. That 1 radiant damage is enough to bring him down to his knees and bring him down to the ground. That is a dead hollow. Okay. Next up's gonna be Blight Oak.
All right, I'm gonna.
Oh, did you have to make a concentration roll for having Sacred Flame after Bane?
Oh yeah, Bane is totally a concentration spell.
Mm-hmm.
Sacred Flame's just a cantrip
No, but Bane.
attack.
After you were hit, is that...
You got hit for how much damage? So you got to make a concentration check.
Oh wait, he didn't get hit.
Oh, that's right, he didn't. No, so...
Oh, my bad then. Never mind then. Don't worry about it. For some reason, seeing that 21 initially, I just totally forgot you didn't get hit. Okay, so yeah, Blight Oak, go ahead.
Alright, I'm go ahead and attack this one that's already hurt.
Okay.
It's not
You're
letting
gonna
me
go ahead and
pain,
what's
but-
already? What you said? What'd you say you were gonna do?
I was gonna attack the one that's already hurt by me, but it's not letting me pin the map for some reason.
The one that's
One
right
that-
to my top left. Yeah. Yep. This one.
Okay. Let me go and see we got her. Yep, that is gonna be another miss. Whiff into the air. And then, if that's it, next will be Agnes.
Alright, so Enith is going to take the dodge action. And she is going to move. So that zombie gets an attack of opportunity.
Okay. Let's go ahead and
And
see
then
it.
it's going to be... Let's see.
Yeah. It's a miss.
2... They have disadvantage too, because I use
Yeah.
dodge.
Okay.
So it'll be 3 attacks of opportunity total. All with
Okay.
disadvantage.
all with disadvantage, and only that one had Bane. So let's see here. Yeah, so the second one misses, and let me go to your...
15 is my AC.
Okay, so yeah, just barely. So you still have mage armor on then?
Yeah, it lasts 8 hours.
Oh, Jesus, okay. Then yeah, you're good.
Enith kind of cackles, and then that's the end of it.
Okay. Alright, so next up will be Gael, who is going to go ahead and... Let's see. Seeing that Blight Oak has 2 hollows in front of him, knowing that he'd be perfectly capable of getting both, but still is going to go ahead and try to rush in and assist his teammate somewhat. Okay, so we'll go ahead and we'll roll to hit. And he was going to get... Alright, let's see. Alright, and perfect, just enough to hit him. And... let's see... Alright. And that's going to be 7 damage with the first hit. We'll just go ahead and flatten this undead and render him super, super dead. And that's going to be the rest of his attack. Nothing else in range. So next up is going to be the hollows. The hollow down here is going to try to claw at Blight Oak. Let's see. Whose armor class is 15 right now, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And let's see if he can go ahead and hit you. I don't think anyone has hit anyone yet. Or any of my guys, at least, have hit anybody.
Not for lack of trying.
Yeah. Alright. Alright, and it claws at the air and misses you again. The one below Aaron is going to try to hit Aaron and get that D4. It's a crit. Fail. So in scratching at your shield, one of his claws is going to get damaged and is going to get chipped. And he's going to go ahead and take a D4 of damage to himself, taking 1 damage. And that being enough to bring him below 10. So, let's see. Which number is this one? That will be Undead number 5. Okay. Boop. So he took some damage just from clawing at you. And then the one above Hedges is also going to try to claw at Hedges without the D4 problem. And that'll be a 15. And from what I remember, yep, that is also a miss, clawing at the air. So that's all of them. And next up's going to be Hedges.
Hedges will go ahead and try and finish off that one that just attacked him.
Alright, you got it. Alright, and that slash is enough to send him flying 5 feet away and careening to the ground in a pile.
Alright, and then he's going to step up to right here and attack the other damaged one that's attacking Aaron with the butt of his halberd.
Okay. Okay, so that'll be the 13. Yep, 13 hits him. Okay. Alright, so that's a good crack, but that one is still alive, although barely. Okay.
Oh, sorry, I used the Greater Weapon Master. If I roll a 1 or 2, I can choose to re-roll, and nothing. Same thing.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Alright. So yeah, just a little bit more damage, but he's still out there and kicking. The next up's going to be Aaron again.
Just wash, rinse, repeat. Just send out sparks and create another sacred flame right on the damaged zombie that's been attacking him.
Okay.
Yes. This.
Let's go ahead and see if we can do it.
And if I remember,
yes.
Bane. Yep. So 5 radiant damage.
Alright, let's see how he's doing. He is not doing well. The rage to send him back to the grave, falling down in a heap. You've only got one left. Please let him crit so he can do something. Alright. Next up is... Well, it's Blight Oak's turn anyway, so he's probably just going to get bodied right here.
Hopefully I've been whiffing. Let's see.
There it is.
Yep, there you go. Is that max health? I don't think that matters, though. Go ahead and give him a big ol' hit. Oh, you dealt 5 damage to him. Sorry, I didn't see the second one. Alright, with the 5 damage, another good crack in the skull, but he is still alive. And then we'll be Inyith to see if we can go ahead and end this. It was a 9 to hit.
Yeah.
Alright, soars right above its head, but does nothing. Alright.
Oops. Do I hit anything and accidentally set it on over his head?
You
Just hit.
probably hit a single branch of a single tree with a small ember and knock a single leaf to the ground. So Gael is going to go ahead and run over here. I think Gael's actually just going to go back to the shack and try to knock it down now, trying to kick it in, while you guys go ahead and finish this off. So next up's going to be the Hollow, who is once again going to try to get at least one hit off. So let's see here. It's a 15, and then I think Blight Oak, you had a 15. Okay. So this undead does in fact get through your armor and claws your flesh. And let's go ahead and see how much damage he deals to you. I'm so excited, I got a hit. Okay. Alright, and you take 3 slashing damage from this undead claw. And next up is going to be Hedges, who sees the first blood shed from one of his companions
And
ever.
Hedges doesn't like it. He roars with rage and swings out with his halberd.
Okay. Smash him to pieces. And you do so. The one hit this undead gets on your friend is enough to let out the beast. And you slash the Hollow in half, rendering them all dead once again. And as soon as the Hollow threat has been vanquished, you all can hear a large board shifting from the inside of the shack and falling to a thump at the bottom of the house. And that's when the door creaks open and you can see a candlelight shimmering on the inside. And Gael throws the door open and stomps in.
Hedges,
Were you guys
Hedges
What's up?
ushers his party towards the shack and will
Okay.
cover behind them unless they want to loot the bodies.
Yeah, I think Enith would go and start looting some stuff from the undead.
Okay, we can all just go ahead and roll. Who?
What are we rolling? You cut out. Did we lose you?
I think we lost
Wow.
him.
Uh-oh.
As silent and barren as the winds. Alright, you just said...
He said make your invest. Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, you hate to see it. Someone assist with that.
Oof.
I apparently cannot find anything whenever I look.
Yeah, not feeling too discerning after our second battle.
I think the technical rule for investigation is that if it's below your passive investigation, you go off of that.
Is
But we'll let
passive
Brent.
investigation a thing? I thought it was just passive perception.
Nope, passive investigation's a thing. It's mentioned in the player's handbook.
Oh, what it did.
I'm not going to use passive though for this.
Yeah. I was gonna say we'll let Brandon rule on what to do.
Yeah. Okay, so the investigation rules were a 10, a 17, a 7, and a 9. So those are all pretty bad, but that's okay. 17's pretty good, though. So for... Let's see. So for Blight Oak's roll, you find 18 souls in the... I'm going to say you looted the 2 bodies in bottom. And then Drew... your character's roll, Aaron, you're going to earn 3 souls. Inyith is going to earn 3 souls as well. And Hedges is going to earn 8 souls. And other than that, you guys find a dagger on each one of them. If needed, if not, whatever you want to do with those.
Taking it.
Okay. And I will say you're also able to find 1 more healing potion.
Me specifically?
The one who rolled a 17. Who rolled a 17?
Blight Oak.
Okay, Blight Oak. Yeah, you find a healing potion on one of your undead. Okay. So, who is storming into this shack behind Gael?
Hedges is gonna actually take up the back, wait for the rest of the group to get in, make sure nothing else comes running out of the woods or ground before following in.
Sounds fair. Okay, so then I'm assuming... Here, let me go ahead and delete our undead here. So I'm going to go ahead and have you guys enter the shack over here. And let me go ahead and reveal it to you. Okay, so you all enter in this shack. And you see Gael very upset, staring at this woman who is not much more than a skeleton, sitting with her legs folded on a small, simple carpet that she seems to have probably woven herself, with a old moldy soup sitting in a foul stench, surrounded by a candle on the small desk next to her. And she cackles to herself and she says, "Well, I'm very sorry, Gael, but there's no way of telling whether you are feral or not." And Gael says, "Gravekeeper, you heard my voice. But now that the undead threat is gone, I'm assuming you can help us out now if you were deciding not to be so stubborn." And the merchant says, well, of course. Who are these fine young undead who traipse past my shack?
Enith would immediately go,
Looks a lot bigger from the outside.
Says, "I don't need very much for my abode. Not a whole lot I can do in these old days of mine." And Gael would go ahead and say, "These are the next undead, headed for the shrine. I was able to scrounge them up from the earth not too long ago. Please, if there's anything you could give them to help them on the journey, in case we face a little bit more danger than what we've been facing now, it would all be very helpful." And she says, "Well, since you've made it this far and you've warded off the feral threat around my abode, I'm sure there's something in here I could give every one of you." And she unties the sack next to the rug that she's sitting on, and you can see a golden glowing within that emanates out of this woven sack. And she pulls out these small little elixirs with ornate designs carved on them, and they've got this glowing honey within them. And it just smells refreshing, almost gives you a feeling of life again when you smell the aroma in your lungs. You get this vitality and this energy surge through you. And she says, one for each of you. This is an undead favorite called an Estus Flask. And she hands out one for every single one of you. I'm assuming everybody grabs one and puts them in their pocket or puts them in their satchel or whatever.
Yeah, so Hedges grabs his and gets ready to put it to his lips and looks around and he says, not yet?
Oh no, you seem very hearty right now. I would suggest only using that in very, very dire circumstances. You see, until the dawn of the next day, it only has one sip available. I would not go squandering it.
And he nods, stoppers it, and puts it with his other potions.
Gael would sigh and nod and say, a very kind thing you did here for us, Grave Tender. We are going to go ahead and head forward, unless there is anything else you think that these new undead might find interesting to them. And the merchant says, well, it depends on what they want. I do have some simple valuables for trade if you have the souls for them. Were you interested in finding some simple valuables to take on your journey?
Hedges says, you deal in souls. Of course you do.
Of course I do.
And he says, so, what is it that you have to offer? For I know not why I carry these souls with me.
Well, the money and coins and currency in times such as these, since all kingdoms have collapsed into the ground, serves nay a purpose. But since undead are very bountifully ready to go around, the souls of them have, over the decades and centuries, sufficed as a new currency universally. What I have for you is the leftover belongings of undead such as yourself, who have not been able to find themselves at the shrine and have fallen in these very forests. And she opens up her bag and she reveals some well-kept and well-handled martial weapons, as well as ranged and melee weapons, as well as potions and scrolls, shields. She said, anything that you're looking for that may interest you, that perhaps you did not find upon waking up.
And Hedges raises his eyebrow and he says, this I like.
Go on, don't be shy.
Alright, he starts digging through. Where that plate mail at?
Okay. Alright. You are able to find a single collection of plate mail there for you.
And he looks at this and he says, 5 souls, right?
She cackles. She says, well, it's a little dinged up, so I could give you a bit of a discount. Normally we would go for about 50 souls for something of that nature, but I could bring it down to 25, and we may be able to haggle past that.
He says, well, you're already so generous, but as you can see, and he tugs at his dirty, smelly chainmail, which is actually like that before he went into the ground. He says, I'm one of the only ones here that is properly outfitted for this, and, what the heck, I'm no good at haggling. Just give me your fairest price.
25.
You mean 15? A deal. He puts his hand
That
out.
is not what I said, kind sir. Was anyone willing to haggle for him?
I wouldn't haggle for him, but Enith would walk up and say, you've done a good job of protecting this old witch so far, and I'd hand him at least, the 4 souls I have.
So how much do you have right now for Hedges?
Hedges has 39 souls.
Were you willing to spend 25 of those, or were you wanting to accept some money from Inyith?
Before he does that, he's gonna try and persuade her. And,
Okay, go for it.
And so he's
Try to get on her good side.
Right, so he's saying that he's not much of a haggler. He says, but I have seen a statue of one who meant very much to me in my life, former life, whatever it is now. And I know that my business here is yet to be done. It seems that you also are here for good reasons, so I believe you helping me furthers your own cause.
Okay. Yeah, she goes ahead and scratches what skin is left of her chin, and she says, "I admire that greatly. Even an undead, being woken from hundreds of years of slumber, is still able to see the duty of his that he once held in life. I agree with you. I will bring it down to just 10 gold.
He
10
beams.
souls, excuse me."
He beams his gap-toothed grin and looks around and says, "How do I give you the souls?"
She says, "Well, just concentrate really hard and breathe in and breathe out a couple of times, and they surely
Squeeze your
will
butt
emerge
cheeks
from your
together.
torso."
He does do that, squeezes butt cheeks together and shoots out his nostrils furiously, a little bit of mucus coming out onto his beard and mustache.
Yeah, so you huff and puff and your mucus shoots out and your face turns red and your neck veins gorge out. And after that happens and you're sitting there waiting for something to happen, then gently 10 souls just whisk their way out of your torso into her hands, and she crushes them. She says, "All right, I'll also need your old armor, just to seal the deal."
And he looks down at that and he says, "But..." groans and he starts stepping out of it.
"Come on, I've done quite a service for you, this old decrepit woman."
And he says, "And just inappropriate." And so, but he starts changing out of that, stepping into his plate mail.
Okay, and she gives you that plate mail, and she says, "Fine doing service with you. Now, hopefully you don't lose all of that on your way to the shrine. I will be venturing out and picking up whatever all of you leave behind." And she says, "All right, be gone with you. Continue on your journey."
Wait. Do you have any pearls?
"Pearls, you say? Of any kind specifically?"
Big ones.
"Yes, I could give you some pearls, I assume. Let's see, the biggest we have going to be worth about, let's see, 8 souls."
I only have 4. How about that?
"Well, what can you give me in return? Do you have any trinkets you might not be using at the moment?"
Nope. They're all mine. Just these souls.
Does anyone think about anything they might not need or want, unless you guys wanted
Head
to?
just sighs and he reaches down into his pouch and he says, "Was getting kind of fond of this," and pulls out the brooch that he had that was made of marble.
Her empty eye sockets light up somehow. She says, "Ah, yes, that would be perfect. Add to my collection of trinkets. Hand over your souls."
I say,
Well,
hold
what
on one
Ted
second.
just
That
did.
seems far more valuable than a simple pearl.
Oh, does any
Can
of
I do a
change your
perception
mind?
check? Oh, this is from Blight
Can
Oak.
I
Says this.
can I see the pearl
does
really
it-
quick? Let me see the pearl.
Oh, give me the souls.
If I can hold the pearl, I'll tell you if we'll do the brooch. How about that?
All right. And she hands you the pearl.
And I immediately begin ritually casting Identify with my holding the brooch.
Okay. This is just a large pearl. Good condition, but there's nothing magic about it.
No, okay. So the pearl is a spell component for Identify.
Oh.
I'm using Identify on the brooch.
Okay. Didn't we already use Identify on the brooch?
No, I've
Just
cast
detect magic.
Oh.
Identify is different.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I could have sworn. All right, let's see. Give me a little reminder of all
Basically,
of
I just
the... Choose an object, touch the casting a spell. You learn its properties.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be not.
If it's nothing, yeah.
Yeah, that would be nothing.
All right, yeah. It's just garbage.
Yeah, maybe for you, not for me. And she throws it in her woven sack with all the other items.
I'd give her gold. I'd give her the souls.
Okay, you huff and you puff as well, and they gently fly out of your torso towards her, and she crushes them in her hands, and you hear a loud, and then she thanks you and cackles once more. And he says, "All right, that's enough of you. Get out of my abode now. You're going to attract more undead."
Okay, I would like to say though, when
Oh,
she cackles at me, I cackle back, but louder.
Okay, she's surprised at this, and Gael looks at the both of you like, "This is weird. What's going on here?"
Blight Oak quickly interjects before anyone else walks out and says, "I seems to have lost my weapon, being in the ground so long, and there's no way I can get along much further. Do you have a glaive or a great sword in your wares?"
I seem to recall seeing a great sword here, dropped by a fellow combatant, further down near the shrine. Let me fetch it for you. And she looks in her bag and she says, "Ah, yes, here we are." And pulls the great sword out. And it's gleaming, it's got a few dents in it, but other than that, it seems to be in good condition. So let's go ahead and see what she's offering for it. Okay. She says, for you,
no
once
glaive.
again...
Right.
Well, what?
And I said, and no luck on a glaive, I assume.
No, I apologize. Well, actually, let's see here. And she goes ahead and she reaches a little bit deeper. She says, "Ah, yes, my mistake. I apologize. It's been a while since the brave knight who dropped this and left this here. Yes, we have a glaive as well. And let's see here. What would she have sold the glaive for? So the glaive is going for 15 souls for you, and the great sword will be going for 25.
I say, this is a fine deal. I will take the glaive, as this quarterstaff can no longer purpose me.
Sounds wonderful. And she gives you the glaive.
Alright, and I expel the souls out of my body, exorcist style. Back
You do so,
arched
and
up.
she crushes them in her hand. Right. She says, "Now I am exhausted of you. If there is nothing else, your scent is bringing in the undead."
Hedges steps out after dipping a short bow to her.
Okay. Alright, so if everyone was done buying and trading and all of that, you guys are going to go ahead and dip out. And Gael speaks to the grave tender one last time and says, "We're going to have a word with each other later." And she cackles as they leave. All right. And now Gael gathers you all and says, "There is only a little bit more to travel before we head to our final destination leading to the shrine. And where we are going, I cannot help you out with. I can only lead you there. Let's go. Only a few more feet." And he begins cautiously traveling forward.
Is it possible to ask as we head forward, like Aaron inquiring, and it is at this shrine that we shall be told what this strange fate it is
Yes.
that has given us in this state?
It is the Firekeeper's job herself to let you know your past, your present, and what is decided of you for your future. But we must head there first, if we are able to prove to her that we can be given such information. "You have a trial to complete," he says and chuckles to himself. "Come on, only a little further." And we head... What's up?
Oh, I said very well.
We head through some more winding, thorny forest as they get deeper and condense around us, getting thinner, cutting the cloth and the fabric around us on our bodies. And we find our way to what Gael says, "Now you've reached the beginning of your true journey. I can only take you this far. It is up to you to find your place as an undead and survive this trial before heading to the Firelink Shrine. I am grateful to have come across you, and I only hope and wish for the best in you discovering who you were, who you are, and who you may be." And he says, "I have grown tired. If there is anything else you need of me before I leave, in search of more unkindled undead, say your piece now. Other than that, may our fates intertwine once more.
Thank you for your direction, Gael, and for bringing us here, I think.
We will see, he says. He says, if fate is kind to both of us, as I have said, we may meet once more. And he stands there and uses his greatsword as sort of a staff, like a walking staff, to hold himself up. He stays quiet, his stringy beard whisking in the breeze, and he slowly holds one hand out in the direction of those gates, leading you forward, and he gives you a slow nod of good luck.
These old bones need a rest.
Yeah, if you guys were wanting to, you can go ahead and have a short rest here. We are going to end at this point, but I did want to sort of give us a little bit of a cliffhanger for next session. But yeah, were you guys wanting to do a short rest in-game?
I'd say,
it?
personally, as a player, I would take one.
Okay.
I haven't been hit, but with my arcane tradition or with my arcane recovery, I can get a spell slot back.
Okay.
Hedges is
Yeah, I
fine with
would
taking a
my
rest.
health back too.
So you guys would, okay. So for anyone wanting to take a short rest here, Gael offers his protection, standing guard, as you guys take a short rest. And before next session, you can, it probably won't even take that long anyway. But yeah, we can say before we head to our little cliffhanger here that you guys took your short rest and go ahead and refill whatever spell slot you need to refill. But yeah, after the short rest would have taken place, Gael would still stand there motionlessly, almost looking as if he's now a statue, feeling as if the presence he once had around you guys is sort of all but vaporized, with nothing but this large gate in front of you, a gate made entirely of stone, 2 large stone doors with ornate designs on them once again, and vines feeding over these doors onto the ground. So we can go ahead, if you guys can go ahead and try to investigate stuff around here if you want, or we can go straight to seeing what is in store next session and trying to go through these doors, whatever you guys want to try to do.
Can I spend a hit die to get some health back on that short rest?
Yeah. So yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll handle all of that once our little cliffhanger's done. You guys can do all that stuff.
Yeah, I'm ready to proceed in.
Okay. So who is going to go ahead and take the initial first steps and try to see if they can open this door?
Hedges.
Okay.
But before we head in, Enith is gonna grab her little pouch, pull out some dirt, and put her hand on Hedges, and
Okay.
she's gonna cast Long Strider on him.
Oh, dope.
I feel
All right. So
fast.
yeah, and we'll go ahead and we'll put that in consideration for next time. I'll go ahead and sort of signify that you've got spell over you. So Hedges is the one who makes the first initiative to go forward to this gate. Is that the way we're going to do it?
Yep.
Yeah, and I'll have
Okay.
bow drawn ready, just in case there's anything waiting once it's open.
Okay. You head to these gates and they seem to expand as you head near them, looking larger and larger than they once were the farther you were away. But if you're willing to put your hands on them and try to push them open, you can. Were you going to lay your hands on them, or were you going to stay back there 15 feet away?
Yep, I'm staying back here. I'm picking up a pebble and I'm tossing it at it.
I cast Mage Hand.
Oh, even better.
Okay. Well, the
Nice.
pebble clacks off the stone, but were you trying to touch the gate with Mage Hand?
Yeah, I was trying to push it open.
Okay. So Mage Hand. Are you able to make strength rolls with it?
No, it can push stuff that's up to 10 pounds.
Yeah. So
Oh wait,
Mage Hand itself.
attack, activate magic items, or carry more than 10 pounds.
Yeah. Let's see. So yeah, I would say Mage Hand would not hold enough strength to open these gates. It seems to have, well, even outside of that, it seems that the mage hand, once it comes into contact with the door, a sort of barrier forms in front of it that the mage hand can't seem to make contact with the door once this sort of barrier of energy forms upon the hand making contact with it.
Can Hedges make an investigation check to see if it's trapped before interacting with it?
Go for it. These doors are not locked. They aren't trapped.
Can I give a knowledge arcana to see if I know anything about it?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so let's see. This, from your arcana roll, you can tell that these doors are enchanted. But other than that, you're not sure with what.
All right. I begin ritually casting Detect Magic.
Hedges doesn't wait for that, and he says, "Pretty sure one of you can bring me back from the dead. Just happened a few minutes ago, right?" And he goes to open the door.
Oh yes, most definitely.
All right, so your character's going to go ahead and walk up to the door then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, so he just walks up to the door. As soon as you place your hands on the door, you feel an energy surge through you. And you feel as if these doors are incredibly light, a lot lighter than they should be. They look like they're a few tons, but as soon as your hands touch them, it seems they have become incredibly easy to open after the connection of your physical touch. So if you were wanting to, it seems it's very possible and very easy to open these couple ton weighted gates.
Well, of course.
Okay, and you guys see Hedges open these doors with absolute ease, with no struggle at all. And these two giant stone doors just creak open as he slowly pushes himself past them. And were you guys wanting to continue on?
Yeah, I would follow him.
Okay, so these doors creak open, and we can feel and hear a sea breeze, the sound of water splashing against stone rocks. And before us, we see this large area of peaceful grass and a small little garden kind of area. It's quiet, it's peaceful, it's serene. There are a few dead trees hanging off the edge of this cliffside here. Looking down, it's about 30 feet before you hit the water. And at the very bottom of the cliff is a rocky, jagged cliffside. To your left, you see, made out of complete stone, is a sarcophagus that is taller than you are. It's about 8 feet tall, and it's about 20 feet long, as well as a few scattered gravestones. At the very center, on a small platform that's about 2 feet lodged out of the ground, is a statue of a humanoid in heavy steel armor from head to toe, and what looks like a sort of crown made of steel worn upon his head. And he holds in his two hands, as sort of a long staff, a glaive of sorts. A custom glaive, a beautiful, uniquely ornate glaive that looks to have been handmade. And he stands there stoically. Solid stone, quiet statue, standing directly in front of you with this scene around you. And we can go ahead and continue on next session and investigate what this statue is and where we are, and try and see what happens next.